Well, when you think of Ringling, Oklahoma, you probably think of high school football state titles and the last name Gandy. But the way Tracy Gandy tells it, that could all change in the next few weeks.
Born and raised here. My dad started coaching at Ringling in 1970.
A lot of people kind of expect us, to have something to do with the football team.
There has been a Gandy at the helm of Ringling football for the better part of the last half century, but that could soon change, and not because Tracy Gandy wants it to.
And that'll be my program till I die. I'm a Blue Devil.
Coach Gandy took over Ringling football on an interim basis after his father, Rick, was paralyzed in a horse riding accident in the spring of 2005, an event that would truly mark the beginning of Tracy's health problems.
I quit sleeping. That first month that he was hurt, we didn't know if he was going to live, and I was afraid to leave the hospital.
Coach Gandy would take over full-time in 2008 after the passing of his father, leading Ringling to 2 berths in the state title game and winning the Blue Devils' 4th gold ball in 2012, but was being sapped of energy by his sleep deprivation, which was worsened by chronic back pain from an injury sustained training horses.
I don't know how many times a week I averaged. It would either knock me to the floor, just paralyze me with pain, or cause me to throw up from pain, or and then when I'd lay down at night, it would get worse. Within an hour, I crawled on my hands and knees to the living room to try to find somewhere to sleep.
By the summer of 2014, the chronic pain had caused Coach Gandy's adrenal glands to essentially bottom out, which led him to sometimes spend over 20 hours a day in bed. At that point, Gandy, who was now principal as well, had a message for the Ringling administration.
They needed to get him a new principal and a new coach, because I dealt with this for 9 years, and I knew that this was different, and I knew that whatever it wasn't going away. And to be honest with you, I thought I had a better chance of dying than working.
But he would return for another year at the urging of the administration and school board, as well as those around the program. What followed was a season where Gandy was plagued by fainting spells and brain fog, to the point his brother Richie had to take over many of the day-to-day duties. But in recent months, things have turned around for Coach Gandy. He had a pain pump inserted earlier this year, and in March, his hormones started to normalize.
I feel better now than I have since the 09 football season.
We're just going to keep going, and we're going to keep trying until we figure it out 100%, and we get him back 100% where he was.
And though he's feeling better, Coach Gandy may not be roaming the sidelines of Rick Gandy Field much longer. When new superintendent Kent Southward was approved earlier this spring, the Blue Devils head man says he was given some unwelcome news.
He called me in and just said they were going to go a different direction. Didn't want another repeat of a year ago. What I've been told was they're worried about my health. None of them ever asked me about my health.
When I spoke to Mr. Southward, he said he couldn't comment on personnel matters, but said in a statement, quote, "As superintendent of Ringling School District, it is my primary focus and commitment to ensure we are providing a consistent and quality education that meets the needs of our students, and we will make all of our decisions based on the best interests of the district," end quote.
I think if they're holding me accountable for something that happened a year ago, first of all, I'd like for them to tell me. For 2, since I didn't want to be there, and had they not come to my house and made me feel guilty, I wouldn't have went.
Coach Gandy's future won't be determined until next week's board meeting at the earliest, but whether he stays or goes, he's not done with the game he loves.
I will coach football again. I'm not through coaching.